Miami has a Dolphin, the greatest football team.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. Ready to get us started here, Riley Patterson. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Connell. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another 1st down.
And he's got it down to the 28. The Dolphins at 4-11 on the year. If they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W, they have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition,
picked up by Elijah Molden. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Well, these two teams met earlier in the year in Buffalo with the Bills winning that ball game. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he's got his man out of the slot. Complete. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a 1st down.
11 on the play. And the Bills' 1st down.
Allen now looks to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bills use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And it's 7-0 Buffalo.
Makes the score Bills 7, Dolphins 0.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Fighting his way through contact.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. In the first drive, they were moving the ball okay. Then the interception. Now time to regroup after giving up the score.
Yeah, I noticed him on the sidelines talking with one of his coaches, and they were comparing the pictures, right? You get the photos, what the defense was doing. They were carving it up pretty well, as you noted. I think they focused a lot on, okay, what happened on the interception ball, seeking to avoid it in the future.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On first down, Connell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Gregory Rousseau able to bring him down. You look at this Buffalo defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better. Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now a handoff up the middle. It's McKenzie. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st and 10.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with a rookie drafted in the 3rd round. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You talk about this Miami defense.
Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Allen to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. That one good for 24 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And some room to work.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Buffalo.
They'll run on 1st down. Callaway. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
From the 24 now, here's the 2nd down and 6.
Allen gonna throw.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Now Allen.
He's to the 15. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Allen. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Bills lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready, set. Here we go, set.
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ready, ready.
2nd and 10.
Ready, ready.
middle. It's Montgomery. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
This pass is caught by London.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first down, Connell. He will push his way down to about the 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Connell. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call student body right because you had everyone on that side, including a fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Pick made by Terrell Bernard. And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. 3rd down and 1.
Allen.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
A big play here for Buffalo. 45 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Going right back to Knox, and again a completion.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
So he stopped for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but hold on, finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd down and inches. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Third and 4.
He'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Now the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself, because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Quick throw here by Allen, complete.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And take it right on the 30. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Well, an unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Pick made by Terrell Bernard. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll keep it on the ground. Callaway. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. First down, Bills.
Up the middle they go. Callaway stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts
It's a gain of 5.
as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Second and 5.
On play action, Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. To the air, Allen. That's caught at the 3. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half.
Dolphins nothing.
Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Oh, good return up past the 30.
And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48 there.
What a way to start the second half. These guys are showing no signs of letting up. They have a chance to take a decided advantage with this possession.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8.
Now this time, Allen will throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll look to throw here. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.